Hi everyone, and welcome to this fourth video in our Introduction to Animation series. Today we're just going to take a little look at some drawing techniques that you can use in Adobe Flash. So I'm going to go back to an old idea of a character leaping across a valley. So my first layer of my animation is going to be my valley. This time, however, I'm going to choose a rectangle tool. I'm going to make it brown, and I'm going to draw one half of my valley. And the flat line is a bit boring, so I'm just going to come to the edge of that shape. Do you see where the cursor changes there? And I'm going to click and drag. And I can bend that line. And if I come to the edge again and press Control on my keyboard, press the Control key, and now click and drag with the mouse. This time I get a sharp end. And now I'm just going to go to that point and just going to play with it. Move it around. And so I can start to build up new shapes from very simple shapes. So remember, this started out as being a rectangle. So let's go to the other side of the valley. This one, I'm going to use the selection tool. I'm going to drag that corner up. I'm going to use the Control key here, Control and drag. I'm going to bend this line, and I'm going to bend that line and try and make it look like a kind of like a ramp, like a skateboarding ramp. Okay, so that's my valley. I'm now going to make a new layer, and my character is just going to be the same old boring red ball character. Okay, just because I want to, let's lock the valley. I just want to keep things still relatively simple while I'm animating. And we will definitely be looking at some more complicated animation techniques as we improve our skills. But for the moment, here is my red ball. I'm just going to delete that black line, the black border line around the red ball. Okay, there is another way to do that, by the way. When I select the oval tool, I could say borderline color. By the way, I don't want you this time. Bye bye border color. And when I draw the shape, there will be no black border color. Okay, so there's something to note. Let's just resize that. And we'll put it into position for the start of the animation. Be somewhere over on the right side of the stage. Now then, I'm going to make another layer. This is going to be my shark. My shark at the beginning of the movie is not going to be on the stage. It's going to be waiting down here, off stage. So my shark, I am going to have a borderline, just a grey borderline with a blue shark. Let's use the oval tool. I'm going to start by creating the mouth. So I'm going to use the Control key on the edge of the shape to drag that in. This surface here, this edge here, I'm going to use the Control key again to try and get a sharp. Just kind of bend that out a little bit. We'll do the same thing here. Control, make a sharp. Brilliant. Now let's do that again here. Control, bend it out. Control, bend it out. Control, push it in. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to select half of this shape and bend it out. Stretch that out. There we go. Now let's just bring these in a little bit. Alright, back to the Control technique on the edge there. Try and make some kind of a fin. That didn't work out very well, did it? Let's try it here. That's better. So there's a fin. Just going to move this in a little bit. That's not very handy. Ooh, that's tricky, isn't it? Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Okay, I'll leave that for now. We'll come back to that later. Let's just zoom in. Control plus, Control plus. I'm going to give this guy some teeth. My strategy for that is to take the rectangle. Let's make it yellow with no border. I'm going to draw a rectangle, a square. I'm going to push that in to make a triangle. I'm going to rotate it around and kind of stick it into place. So there's a tooth. And let's do Control C, Control V, copy and paste. We'll make another one. We'll just kind of rotate it around a bit. And we'll do another one, Control V. Just rotate it and stick it into place. Okay. Now if you think you've got the idea of what I'm doing here, feel free to stop following this tutorial. But can you redo your valley scene using nicer images? If you want to continue watching this tutorial for another 3 or 4 minutes, please do so. I'm more than happy to welcome you into this video. I'm just going to rotate that round. That's going to be the final tooth, I think. I think 4 teeth is quite enough for a menacing looking shark. And let's give him an eye. Yeah, let's stick with yellow. I like yellow. We'll give him an eye. We will give him a black pupil. And let's just push that in a little bit just to make it look a little bit scary. There you go. And finally, the last touch for this guy, I'm going to use the paintbrush here to draw in some kind of scales or gills or whatever you want to call them. Control Z, let's just bend that a little bit. Yeah, okay, brilliant, I've got my shark, superb. Now, of course, I don't have to finish there if I don't want to. Let's just move him off. There we go. I could, of course, make a new layer called Sun and stick the sun in the sky. It is going to be yellow, and I'm not going to have a border color. The sun's up there. We could also have a new layer called Clouds, and I'm going to create a cloud in the sky. Same technique as before, go to the edge, Control, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag, just a kind of a gentle Control Z, gentle looking cloud in the sky. And I can mess around with the edges of that cloud just to neaten it up. When I've finished, kind of reshape it. That's not bad. So there's my cloud in the sky. Let's stick it over here. And there we go. And the final thing I'm going to add is, of course, the ocean. The ocean is going to be a rectangle. I'm going to make it a darker blue than the shark. I'm going to put the ocean across the bottom of the scene. But it needs to be behind the valley layer. So this is the beauty of layers, is I can reorder them. The ocean needs to go behind the valley. So I'm going to drag it under the valley, and there you go. It's now behind the valley. So let's do Control Enter and see what the scene looks like. So that is what the scene looks like at the moment. We can't see the shark. It's not on the stage. The shark is down here somewhere. We can just about see the red ball who's about to come into the scene, and then we can develop the animation. So have a go, see if you can redevelop your valley animation using a better drawing technique.